Welcome everyone to another learning session. Today we will discuss about Azure AI. If you are new to AI, I would suggest you go through my blog post at codingarchitect.ai and feel free to ask me any doubts you may have about AI, about AI on cloud, such as AI on Azure or AI on AWS. Maybe we can discuss in one of these sessions. And if you are part of the knowledge exchange study group, then all you have to do is just mention there, and then we can discuss over the 24/7 Zoom meeting. Before we get started with today's session, where we will look into Azure AI, so can you all type in the chat if you are new to Azure AI or AI in general? So if you are new to AI in general, you can just type N, and if you are new to Azure AI, you can type NAI. Okay, so most of you are new to AI as well as new to Azure AI. Today, our goal is to explore what all things are there in Azure Cloud with respect to AI, and then we will go deeper into each of these services in future sessions. And also, I will help you start reading and understanding about AI and related things. So, are you excited to learn about AI? Okay, good. So, today's session will be a complete hands on session. And in case if you are new to my sessions, you can find all about me by just searching my name in Google or LinkedIn. Okay, so if you just search for Hatin Jacob Kanigatotu, you can know about my LinkedIn profile, or if you search in Amazon, you can see my books. And there are many other places where you can know about me, interact. I will let you know about all of those things towards the end. Okay, so without wasting time, let us get started with Azure AI. I know we have people from different backgrounds, so feel free to ask me any doubts you have regarding AI. Okay, so while I am cleaning up my resources, can you quickly comment what is AI according to you? Just one line. What is AI according to you? So I will not believe that you haven't heard about AI at all or don't have any idea about AI. I know technically you are new to AI, and then we will definitely look into all the technical aspects today as well as in coming sessions. But what is AI according to you? Just in a line. Okay, we have already data for that we apply intelligence, that is AI. Okay, it's a technology that behaves like human. Good. Okay, creating systems that works with human-like intelligence. Good. It's a robotic thing which act like a human. So how many of you are new to Azure itself, not AI or not Azure AI, new to Azure itself? So if you are new to Azure, first thing you have to do is get a free tier account. So if you search for Azure free tier account, you can come here and then create a free tier account. If you have created it before, then you may not be eligible. So what you have to do is try logging in with your older email. So you can, before going here, if you have a Azure account already, you can log in with those credentials and then go to subscriptions and see if your subscription is active. So if your subscription is not active, at least try checking if your tenant is active. So if your tenant is if not active, you will not be able to log in. So you can come here and see if you are in your tenant. So here I am in my tenant. And if you have multiple tenants, you can switch directories. So if you are working or learning alongside me, and if I am giving you a subscription to practice, so we have a program through which we give subscription to practice for free. And if you get that subscription, all you have to do is come here. And before coming here, before even requesting subscription, you need to make sure you can log into the Azure portal. So sometimes you may have created this account long time back, maybe an year or more back, and now Microsoft Azure is disabling those tenants. So when you try to log in, so before requesting access, before giving your email address, try to log in. As long as you are able to log in and come to this screen, then you can share your email with me. But when you are logging in, you are not able to log in. It says, okay, due to inactivity, your tenant is disabled or something like that. All you have to do is go to the free tier account page and try creating a new free tier account with a new email ID. And in most of the cases, your creation would fail, saying you are not eligible for free tier account because it checks for your credit card, email, phone number, all those combination. But it is okay because even if the subscription creation fail, you will still get a free tenant. So once you log in here, you'll not be able to see the subscription, but you will still be able to see this tenant for you, and you will be able to switch directory and all. Even in that case, you can just let me know that email, and then I can give you access. And if you don't have a credit card, then you will not be able to create a tenant or free tier account. In that extreme case, all you have to do is just go to portal.azure.com and try to log in with any email. Initially, it will ask you to create a Microsoft account if it is not already a Microsoft account. And once you log in and come to the screen, you can give me your email and I can give you access. And then once you come here, once you click on switch directory, you will only see my directory. If you have gone through the free tier account process, irrespective of whether it is successful or not, you will see your directory as well as my directory, and then you can switch directories here. So that is it about getting started with Azure for complete beginners. And once you are into the Azure portal, you can go to subscription and then look at the billing and other stuff. But we are not here for learning about subscriptions. That is something that we discuss as part of our AS Adventure 4 or Azure standard learning journey. And all of those things are available either in cloudrix.com portal or the Cloudrix YouTube channel. So you can just search for Cloudrix YouTube channel and then go to playlist and then go to Azure Fundamentals. There are 10 videos here that will help you get started with Azure Cloud, and same is available within the Cloudrix homepage also. So here you have two playlists to get started with cloud, and here you have the 10 videos to get started with Azure Cloud. So if you are new to Azure Cloud, I would suggest watching these videos, and there are a lot of notes to learn from. And now comes Azure AI. If you look into the history of Azure AI, there has been many changes in the namings. So if you look into the history of other Azure services also, say Azure Active Directory or Azure AD, it used to be Azure AD for quite a long time. Now it is called as Microsoft Entra ID. Similarly for Azure services, traditionally it was called as cognitive services. And then later after some time it got renamed to Azure AI services. And now it is called as Azure AI Foundry. So if you search for Azure AI Foundry and go to this page. So this name AI Foundry is a little bit confusing for at least some of my students initially. So before this page was called as AI services, and then there is another portal. So this is portal.azure.com, right? There is another portal called ai.azure.com that was called as AI Studio. So now This page is called as AI Foundry. That AI Studio is also called as AI Foundry. And if you come here, there is also a resource called as AI Foundry. So when I say AI Foundry page in the Azure portal, this is that page. When I say AI Foundry portal, it will be the older AI Studio, which is ai.azure.com. And when I say AI Foundry resource, it is this AI Foundry resource. So Microsoft is trying to bring all of these AI related things under this AI Foundry branding. So here you can either create AI Foundry resource or AI Hub for multi-user collaboration. And then you have Azure OpenAI. How many of you here have heard about OpenAI? Heard about this company called OpenAI? If you have heard about OpenAI, just type O, else you can type N. There are many O's, which means most of you have heard, and there are some who haven't heard, and there are also some of you have some idea. You have asked a question: is it the company who invented ChatGPT? Yes, OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT, and OpenAI has developed many models, and ChatGPT is based on those models. Okay, we'll see all of those things here. When Azure started into its AI journey, most of the offerings were specific to OpenAI. You have this service called Azure OpenAI, but later Azure developed many services of its own, and Azure has a lot of tie-ups with other providers also, not just OpenAI. We will see them. So Azure rebranded their primary page to AI Foundry, and now if you go to Azure OpenAI, and if I try to create a Azure OpenAI resource, see, instead of directly allowing me to create it, it will show this message. Okay, Azure AI Foundry recommended design, customize, and manage AI agents and models, including OpenAI. And if you go with the Azure OpenAI option, use Azure OpenAI models to create, test, deploy your AI solutions end to end. Forget about AI Foundry for a few minutes. So tell me, which one will you use? The standard OpenAI or Azure OpenAI? Which is better? Does Azure OpenAI gives you anything additional? Okay, there is a chat. Assuming Azure AI will be a tool specifically to help with Azure services. It is kind of opposite. I will explain. OpenAI has developed a lot of models, right? So now the trend is generative AI, right? So OpenAI has many generative AI models. So ChatGPT also uses generative AI models. So instead of using ChatGPT, imagine we are creating something like ChatGPT and we are using OpenAI models. What will we use? Either the models are directly from OpenAI or OpenAI models through Azure Cloud. So what do you think? Is it same, or is OpenAI better, or is Azure OpenAI better? So this is my AI blog. If you go to the blog, so I had recently written this blog post on Azure OpenAI versus OpenAI. The most important thing is Azure OpenAI is OpenAI plus Azure. Someone had mentioned like assuming Azure AI will be a tool specifically to help with Azure services. It is the opposite. With Azure OpenAI, you get OpenAI plus you get Azure. Rather than using OpenAI to help Azure, you get help from Azure. Rather than simply using the model, you get lot of other things like security, monitoring, provisioning, lot of other things along with that model. If you are already in a Azure ecosystem, you would prefer Azure OpenAI, and similarly you can deploy models on other clouds also. And here your data is within Azure cloud. Basically you take a copy of that model and deploy on Azure, and based on how you manage your data within Azure cloud, you'll have better flexibility. Okay, so that is between OpenAI and Azure OpenAI. Coming back here, so earlier it was only Azure OpenAI, right? So now we have Azure AI Foundry. When I go with Azure AI Foundry, I will not be just getting OpenAI models, I'll be getting other models also. Okay, so we will see both of these options. So if I go to Azure AI Foundry, I can create a Azure AI Foundry resource. Okay, I can select a resource group. I can give a name. My first Azure AI Foundry resource. I'll select region as East US. The default project name first Foundry project, just to make it a little more readable. And then if you want, you can check the full pricing details. So as I mentioned, initially it was called as cognitive services, right? And then AI services, now AI Foundry. But most of the URLs and even the APIs still call these services with the name cognitive services. So do not get confused with these different namings. Whenever you are using generative AI, pricing is based on tokens. I had also written a note on tokens. If you are interested, you can read. So it will give you some idea about tokens. So coming back, what is your first project? AI Foundry organizes development artifacts into projects. Containers for managing permissions, monitoring costs, and more. When you create a resource, a project is also created. This default project has more capabilities than projects that you create later. And also, you have to go through these things like Azure AI Foundry provides access to Azure OpenAI models. So it is not just Azure OpenAI models. Ideally, they have to correct it. So to detect and mitigate harmful use of the Azure OpenAI service, Microsoft logs the content you send to the completions and image generations APIs, as well as the content it sends back. If content is flagged by the services filters, it may be reviewed by a Microsoft full-time employee. AI has its risk also, right? When I started talking about AI, my daughter's first reaction was, Dada, what will we do if AI is turned against a human? Because that is what we see in movies, right? Going forward, we cannot say that that is not possible because robots are coming and automation is there everywhere. AI is learning from its own mistakes. Okay, and then you can read about, learn how Microsoft processes this data, and also apply for modified content filters and abuse monitoring if you would like, and then review the OpenAI code of conduct. So I've gone through these, so I'm not going to do it right now. But if you are doing it, definitely go through these things, because as software engineers or just software users, one thing that we don't read much is terms and conditions. So we created a program called a free lab to learn program, and we have some terms and conditions. So initially we asked people to read it and confirm. They said confirmed, but when they start, we realize they don't know much about it, and then we ask them to copy paste and send it. Still, some people make mistakes. Then you can go to the second page. So here, this is a standard networking configuration. So these are all things that Azure provides you, right? You can configure all networks, including internet, can access this resource, or selected networks, configure network security for Azure AI Foundry resource, or disabled, which means no networks can access this resource. You could configure private endpoint connections. That will be exclusive way to access this resource. Let us go with all networks for now. And then identity, you have a system assigned identity or user assigned. We will explore identities. I've already uploaded some notes in cloudregs.com related to identity. If you're interested, you can read through it. And encryption, how many of you don't know what is encryption. If you don't know, just type D. If you know, type E. Everybody know about encryption, so I don't have to explain it. So encryption is just making the data not accessible directly by coding it with some algorithm and a key. And encryption is the process of getting the data back to its normal form. So if you use same key, it is called symmetric encryption. If you use different keys, it is called asymmetric encryption. If anybody is interested, we can go through it in one of our Cse Cafe Tech Brews. Okay, so encryption we will leave default. Tags is a standard feature for most of the Azure resources. And finally, we will run validation. Okay, and then we can click on create. So the interns will have an extra task today. So while attending the session, please note down all the things that we do. You don't have to mention the steps, the services that we explored, concepts that we discuss, features that we discuss. Just note down the name or a topic. So now the resource is created. I can go to resource. So this is my AI Foundry resource. Okay, before going to the AI Foundry portal, which was previously called as AI Studio. So you can go through these options. Activity log, which is standard for all Azure resources. Access control IAM, it is standard for Azure resources. Tags, standard, and diagnose and solve problems, which is also a kind of standard. Resource visualizer. So you can see, okay, I have a resource and I have a project. If I want, I can zoom it. And resource management, I can see my projects. I've only created one project and keys and endpoints. When we work with APIs, we are also learning Python for AI. And if you go through my blog and search for step and go to Python fundamentals for AI in cloud, I've added 40 nodes for you to get started with Python, as well as Python with Azure, as well as Python with AI. And when you do AI programs with Python or any other programming language, you will need endpoints and keys and all. You get these keys from here. So here you get common keys. So here you can use the below agents, evaluations, and your deployed models. You have OpenAI related endpoints. You have the AI services, speech to text, text to speech, voice. Lot of options are here. So you have two keys, and you can configure the other options that we saw while creating, right? Encryption, networking, identity, and you have a cost analysis, and you have properties. Python or some programming language is mandatory if you want to become a Azure AI engineer or AI engineer in general. And for exams, Microsoft provide C# as well as Python options, but Python is the most commonly used language for AI. So I would recommend that. And monitoring, all of these options are standard. Automation, it is standard. If you want to export things, you can export as ARM or Bicep or Terraform. If you go to AI Foundry page, so this is the AI Foundry resource we created, right? So similarly, there are many other services here, individual services. So some of the services you can directly create them and then use with the respective keys and respective endpoints that I will show you later, or you can just use AI Foundry for everything. So we have created a AI Foundry resource, and from the overview page, you can go to AI Foundry portal. So see the URL. So the regular portal is portal.azure.com. This is Azure portal, and this is the AI Foundry resource or AI Foundry page within Azure portal. So this is AI Foundry page within Azure portal, and this is AI Foundry resource within Azure portal. And this is the ai.azure.com, which is AI Foundry portal, previously called as Azure AI Studio. So here you can see your projects. Okay, and you can work with them. So here, if you come to a model catalog, you can see many models, not just OpenAI models. Okay, so you can look at, you can see GPT-4o, GPT-5 Pro, GPT Audio Mini, GPT Real Time Mini. So DeepSeek is there. Microsoft models are there. Lot of models are here, right? Llama is here. So if you want to deploy any of these models, you can go. So when you experiment, try to research about these models and then go with some model which has least cost. So even if it says, okay, 41 USD per 1 million tokens, that 1 million tokens will get used up very fast. Okay. And you see this message, registration is required to use this model. Access will be granted according to Microsoft's eligibility criteria. You may not be eligible for access at this time if you have already requested access. Otherwise, you can request access. Audio Mini or let me see. Okay, GPT-5 chat. Okay, so here I don't need any other request or permission. I can click on just use model. I can select the deployment type. At this point, there is only a global standard. I can review things and I can click on create resource and deploy. Okay, while it is creating resource, let us quickly explore this page. So here we created a Foundry resource. We can also create Azure OpenAI here. So if I come here, it will give this recommendation to use AI Foundry. Imagine that I have already created Azure OpenAI. To show that scenario, I will create one now. Okay, I can give a name. My first Azure OpenAI service pricing tier. We'll go with standard. The same content review policy. Okay, network tags, review and submit, and click on create. Okay, let it create. So is it done? Yes, it is done. So there is a question: is the AI model being deployed to the Azure resource or what? Yeah. So we have created a project, right? Within that project, so we created an Azure Foundry resource. Within that resource, we created a Foundry project, and within that project, we are deploying this model. Clear? Okay, good. Okay, so now you have some quota, and if you need more quota, you can ask. So here, if you see, I can see, okay, I can select my language like Python, JavaScript, Rust, Java, C Sharp, C. These are the supported languages now. And then I can select the SDK option. I can select Azure OpenAI SDK or OpenAI SDK or Azure AI Inference SDK or Azure OpenAI SDK. So you can select based on your project requirements, and you can select your authentication, key based authentication or enter ID authentication. And you can even open this code from within VS Code. So we have nodes for setting up VS Code also. See, setting up for Python development, setting up for Azure development. So you have all of these things here. All you have to do is just follow and then learn this codingarchitect.ai. So you can open in VS Code if you want, and then you get all the code to get started. Most of the cases, you will be using it within your application. You get your key, you copy paste, and then wherever it is being asked in the code, you just use it. So you can see all of this information. And also you can go to playgrounds. So playgrounds also, you need to have a model deployed. So I'll go to chat playground and click on try chat playground. So normally people expect, okay, if you go to playground, you can straight away work. No, you have to first create a deployment. We have already created a deployment, right? And we can select it. Otherwise, you can create from here also. And then you can look at the parameters. You can look at max tokens, temperature, top. I've explained all of these things within my blog, but I will also go through them in future sessions. So this is the context, okay? We will discuss about prompt engineering and all in future sessions. If you are eager to read about it before those sessions, you can go to codingarchitect.ai and then read. Okay, so just type something. I am taking a session for AI 102 certification. Can you suggest top 5 services to learn? Microsoft AI. So it will tell me a lot of information. So great, the Microsoft AI 102 certification name focus on building, deploying, and to prepare effectively. So you get a decent result, right? So you can play around by increasing the temperature or other parameters, and then maybe you ask the same question. So this was a straightforward question, right? The response is again different, like absolutely for an AI 102. So it's best to focus on Azure services that examine real world solution emphasizes most. So when you increase the temperature, the creativity increases. Chance for hallucination also is more. So you can play around with these things. Okay. And if you want, you can click on view code. So let me go back to my model catalog. And if I want to use a different model, I can do that. Models. Let us go with image generation. Okay, so this is an image generation model. You can click on use model, select pricing tier, click on deploy. Got deployed fast. So I can either select code for my application here, or I can open in playground, or I can even go to the playground. Okay, I can go to images playground and select my deployment. Tell me anything for AI to generate. Give me some text. I can ask it to generate. Okay, generate a cat with yellow raincoat in a rainy day holding umbrella, looking sad. Okay, let us try what will happen. Okay, quality you can decide. Okay, standard or HD. We can select all of those things. Okay, to generate faster, we can, and you can even select the style, vivid or natural. Okay, yeah. So we have a cat with yellow raincoat in a rainy day holding umbrella, looking sad. So and then you can do a lot of other things like you can create and work with agents. You can fine tune. So how many of you know what is fine tuning? So you have a model which is trained by the provider that gave you that model, like OpenAI or some other company. So you have a model, right? So how do you make that model specific to your company or specific to your use case? You can do it in two ways. Either you can fine tune that model. Basically, fine tuning. What is fine tuning? Update a model's task capabilities by adding new data via the weights it was initially trained with. Because this method tends to require fewer examples in the prompts, generally less text is sent and tokens processed per call. Okay, if you click on fine tuning, you need to have a model, a base model, right? Like O4 Mini or GPT 4.1. So there many of them are chat completion models, right? So I don't have any fine-tuned model. So if I go with O4 Mini, okay, not available in your resources region. Okay, GPT 4.1 is available. So I can select again. I can create a fine-tuned model. I can add training data. I can add curated sample sets or existing files or files on this resource, upload files, Azure Blob or other shared web locations, and I can select data. So basically, fine tuning means you provide additional data. So additional data to train it further. Okay, and you click on apply, and then you can go with supervised or direct preference optimization or reinforcement. So all of these key terms with respect to AI, ML, like fine tuning, and most of the things I have covered in coding architect.ai. But if you are somebody who doesn't want to go and read, you can just follow these sessions or just follow my posts in LinkedIn or other places so that I will share what to read and then what how to proceed, and then you can ask me doubts. Let me click on submit. So now it is queued. So fine tuning is basically taking a pre-trained model and then adding more data specific to our business. So as we saw, when we go into fine tune model, so these are the things, these are the available models for fine tuning, right? So what if I want to use a different model, not in the list, and make it specific to my company? So you can search for something called as RAG, retrieval augmented generation in AI. How many of you know about this thing called prompt engineering, or at least heard about it? So our OpenAI resource is ready. So what is prompt engineering? So it is just making your prompts better. Whatever you are saying to ChatGPT, right? So that is the prompt. So we have our playground, and we have GPT-5 chat, right? Let me ask another AI, Gemini. I am experimenting with the temperature in Gen AI. Give me a small prompt that I can use to get interesting results while changing temperature. Let us see if Gemini can provide us something. That's a fun experiment. Changing the temperature setting in generative AI essentially adjusts the randomness of the output. Lower temperature lead to more deterministic, focused, and safe answers, while higher temperature result in more creative, diverse, sometimes bizarre or unexpected results. Let us see. Write a very short three-line story about a lonely lighthouse keeper who discovers a secret message in a bottle. Okay. Let us see how our model behave. I will keep my temperature to 0 and then ask this question. Okay, each dawn the lighthouse keeper watched the waves for company. One morning bobbed, a bottle bobbed ashore, glinting like a promise. Inside a message whispered, "You are not alone." Okay, so now let us increase the temperature to 1 and ask the same question. See if it will give the same results. Okay, every night he lit the beacon, though no ships came. One dawn, a bottle washed up, sealed with salt and hope. Inside a note, keep the light burning. I'll find my way home. See, it's like a poem, right? So you can play around with these parameters. You Got an idea, right? I think we lost track a bit. So we were discussing about RAG, right? So one of the ways in which you can make data specific to your company is to take a model and fine tune it. Basically, provide your data to the model and change that model or update that model. So you are training that model again with additional data. And another way is RAG. So here the prompt is important. So the more context you give, the better answer your system will give. Because when the ChatGPT models, the OpenAI models or any models may not know about your organization, right? So what they do is they will guess, and that guess may not be correct, and that is called as hallucination. Instead of that, you provide along with the prompt, you also provide your information, your context. So that is where RAG comes. So you, for example, you put your company specific data in a drive like Azure Blob Storage or in Amazon S3 or some place, and you will configure it so that when you ask something related to your company, it will first search your existing documents, and for that search, there are other mechanisms involved like vector databases and all, which we will discuss later. I don't want to confuse you too much on the implementation details right now. When we search with the help of that vector database and all, it will find the right document or the related documents, and then based on that, it will generate a prompt, and it will give that prompt along with what we have asked, along with the right documents, so that now the model will have more context with respect to our business. So that is RAG. So these are the two ways in which you can customize a model: RAG and fine tuning. We saw the AI Foundry page, we saw the AI Foundry resource, we saw the AI Foundry portal, and you can see all of your projects here. So I have the default project. So my first Azure OpenAI service is also here. Okay, so let me go to my first OpenAI service. It is created, right? So I can go inside it. By the way, so like if you go here and click on agents, Foundry agent service. So here also I have to deploy a model. I can click on next and GPT 4o. Okay, let it deploy. Okay, so coming back. So if I go to or view or activity log. Okay, so this is my OpenAI service, right? So it has various different options like activity log, access control tags. So similar to whatever we saw, right? So for the resource, you see all of the options here: keys and endpoints, encryption, pricing tier, networking, stored completions, identity, cost analysis properties, security features, Microsoft Defender for cloud, monitoring, automation. All of the options are same like the other resource. So I can select my OpenAI project here instead of my other project. So again, it is giving warning: upgrade your OpenAI resource to AI Foundry. It will give warning everywhere. I can either upgrade from here, or so you see all of these options are there for the Foundry resource also. But one additional option is resource upgrade. So here also I can click on resource upgrade and then select your AI Foundry setup. I can read all of these things. We will update your Azure OpenAI resource to become an AI Foundry resource. Here is what to expect. You will keep all your existing work, including model deployments, files, fine-tuning jobs, assistance, batch jobs, evaluations. It will take about 2 minutes to upgrade your resource. Your existing endpoints and the keys will not change. Okay, and then you click on confirm. You need to create a project here also. First, AI Foundry from OpenAI project, some name, and then click on upgrade. So if you already have a Azure OpenAI service, this is how you upgrade to the regular or the newer Azure AI Foundry resource. Okay, upgrade complete. Azure, even though it is called as Azure OpenAI service, the name does not change. It is now Azure AI Foundry resource. So if I come here and go to AI Foundry, now I will have this my first Azure OpenAI service is now actually a Foundry service. And if I go to Azure OpenAI, I'll not see anything. Okay, so now you also know, if you already have a Azure OpenAI service, how to migrate it to Azure AI Foundry, right? Hub, we don't have any hub. Hub is also like create only if needed. You can create a hub. Let us try my AI hub. So AI hub, behind the scenes, you will need a AI Foundry resource. So I can select one of my existing AI Foundry. I have 3 AI Foundry resources, right? I can select one of them, or I can create a new AI Foundry resource. So even if you are creating a Azure AI hub, behind the scenes, it is still AI Foundry resource. So other options are mostly same, like inbound access, outbound access, encryption, identity, tags, review plus create, and finally, if validation is successful, you can click on create. So it will basically create your hub. And also, since we selected a new AI Foundry resource, that new AI Foundry resource will also come here. And once you create a hub, you can create a project under that hub, and you can explore other services here. For example, we have a lab here, right? So we have a lab for hands-on Azure image analysis in Python. It's very straightforward. You can go step by step and then do it. For that, you will need a resource, right? So you can go to computer vision and then click on create. Similar to any Azure resources, you select your subscription, resource group, region, and a name, pricing tier. For experimentation, it will not cost you much. And then again, responsible AI notice. Microsoft provides technical documentation regarding the appropriate operation applicable to the AI service that is made available by Microsoft. Customer acknowledges and agrees that they have reviewed this documentation and will use this service in accordance with it. Azure AI services is intended to process customer data that includes biometric data, as may be further described in product documentation that customer may incorporate into its own systems used for personal identification or other purposes. Customer acknowledges and agrees that it is responsible for complying with the biometric data obligations contained in the online services DPA. So you can read them, even the responsible AI documentation and all of those things. And then once you agree to it, you can click and go to the next step. Again, it is similar for most services like the network restrictions, identity. You can have system assigned managed identity off or on. Okay, tags, and finally review and create, and click on create. Okay, deployment is in progress. Okay, deployment is complete. Okay, computer vision. So we have one computer vision resource here, and here if you see resource management, keys and endpoint. So if you are planning to do this image analysis in Python example, you will need keys. Okay, and you will have to configure it within your code. I've explained everything, but if you would like to learn alongside me, you can always join the knowledge exchange study group. It is free for everybody who shares knowledge, so that is why it is knowledge exchange study group. So similarly, if you come to AI Foundry page, you can click on bot services. So you can go to AI search if you want, and create the resource, select the resource group, service name, buddy search, and then select the pricing tier. And we have different, like we have free option, We have basic, we have standard. So here you can look into most of these parameters and then select whatever you want to go with. Okay, and then you can select the scaling options and partitions also I can change as needed. So see the cost also increases. Now it is CA 9.917.59 per month. Okay, and then go to networking. I can go for a public endpoint or a private endpoint, then tags. Next, go to review plus create, and I can click on create. If you are preparing a lab for this, do not go with basic. Always go with free when it is available. So, and if you go to bot services and click on create, you see Azure's own bot service, or you see lot of other options also like VM Data, Cloud Vault. All of them are not really bots. Some of them are supporting services. If you go with Azure bot, then you can select subscription, you can select plan, and then you can click on create. Buddy, tutor, and resource group, data residency, global versus regional. You can read to further define boundaries of your for your data. Specify an option for data residency. This limits the regions where data is stored and processed and the channels available for your bot. Pricing plan, you can experiment. You have a free and standard. So if you are experimenting, go with free, and only if you really need, go with S1. And the type of app, a Microsoft App ID is required to create a bot resource. If your bot app doesn't need to access resources outside of its home tenant, and if your bot app will be hosted on an Azure resource that supports managed identities, then choose option user assign managed identity so that Azure takes care of managing the app credentials for you. Otherwise, depending on whether your bot will be accessing resources only in its home tenant or not, choose either a single tenant or multi-tenant option respectively. So you can select single tenant or user assign managed identity and ask Azure to create a Microsoft App ID for it, tags, and review plus create, and then click on create. Deployment is in progress for the search service. Okay, and deployment is in progress for the bot service. So computer vision, custom vision. So you can create a custom vision resource if you want. Customize and embed state-of-art computer vision for specific domains. Build frictionless customer experiences. Optimize manufacturing processes. Accelerate digital marketing campaigns and more. No machine learning expertise is required. So if you have machine learning expertise, so our Azure bot is ready, and Azure AI search is still happening. Yeah. So here custom mission like so yeah. So here if you see there is also machine learning. So here you will need to have knowledge of machine learning, but here you don't need much knowledge. So you can create options. Is it for both prediction and you are creating both prediction and training, or the subscription resource group as always, region, name, HK, custom, vision, pricing tier, only standard is available. I will select that. Prediction pricing tier, since we selected both, right? I will select standard, network, and review plus create and create. Our search service is still getting deployed. Our custom vision is done. You can search for AI Foundry, go to custom vision. There are two resources created, one for custom vision training and one for custom vision prediction. So if you come here, We have keys and endpoint encryption, pricing tier, networking, cost analysis, properties. Almost options are almost similar, right? So for prediction also, so similar options. Most of the things happen from APIs or code, right? And for computer vision, we have created our resource, right? So you can come here, and from the overview page, you can go to Vision Studio and play around. So if you have multiple directories, it will list the directories here, and you can go to different options here. So you can play around. I acknowledge that this demo will incur usage to my Azure account. It is fine. The important point here is when you go to each of these services, you can go to view SDK reference. Okay, and then you can find code for C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Rust API. And also you can use the Rust API and use a tool such as Postman to make requests through Rust API. In Vision Studio, you'll get a lot of options, right? So you can play around with these options also. So this is our resource. It is reflecting now. So content safety, resource group, pricing tier, free or standard. Always go with free. I'm just experimenting, so I'm just selecting standard. All networks. Again, identity it is similar. Tags same, and click on create. So document intelligence. So this is again something that you can relate to. You can create a document intelligence resource, name, pricing tier, network, same, identity tab, same, tags, review and create. So most of the things are same. Resource creation is same. Content safety, go to resource, go to Foundry, content safety, go inside the resource. So see, it's almost the same for all resources. And Face API, if you want, you can play around. You can create region, name, pricing tier, all standard things. Then network identity tags, review plus create health insights, create. So region, a name, pricing tier. If free is there, always use free or standard. So new or existing language resource. So when generating a health insights resource, you should provide your own Azure AI language resource, which includes text analytics for health. This resource is mandatory and will enable using text analytics for health for natural language processing by health insights AI models. So you can create new or select existing. We don't have anything existing. So this is our document intelligence resource. And similar to the computer vision, you can where we went to Vision Studio, right? Here you can go to Document Intelligence Studio. And then how we played around with computer vision, you can play around with Document Intelligence Studio here. So language service. So we'll create a language service. By default, Azure AI service for language comes with several pre-built capabilities like sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, pre-built question answering, etc. Some customizable features below require additional services like Azure AI search, blob storage, etc. to be provisioned as well. Select the custom features you want to enable as part of your language service. Default features are sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, pre-built question answering, conversational language understanding, named entity recognition, text summarization, text analytics for health. So here, custom question answering, use this feature to answer users' questions over your data corpus, require Azure AI search. Okay, you can select that. Where is our search? Oh, it is still deploying. Okay, custom text classification, custom named entity recognition, custom sentiment analysis, custom text analysis for health, and continue to create your resource. So yeah, so here it is again same, right? HK language service is pricing tier, Azure search pricing tier, so free or so so new storage account or existing storage account you can select. With this new, then you have to provide that information also. If it is existing, we have to select a storage account. Since I don't have anything provision now, I hope you know about all of these things like premium LRS, premium SDRS, and all of these options, right? So you can definitely read about it in cloudrix.com or just watch about a storage account and all within Cloudrix YouTube channel. You can find details there. Here also, whenever you are experimenting, unless you are learning different options, go with the smallest possible, which is standard LRS. Confirm. So responsible AI notice similar to what you have seen with other services. Network, identity, tags. Our search is still deploying. Okay, validation failed. Storage account name is already used. I'll try to give something that might not be there. Good, no issues. So we'll work with each of these services later. So today my goal is just to go through these services and then show you how to create them. So if you want, you can experiment, and I will clear all doubts related to that also. So machine learning, you can create a new workspace for ML projects and teams, new registry for sharing ML assets across workspaces, subscription, resource group, name, region, storage account, key vault, application insights, container registry. So people ask me why I should, people who come to learn AI 102 ask me why I should also learn at least AZ 104 or similar sets, because when you are working on AI on cloud, you are not just learning or working with AI things, right? So you have to learn and understand other things also. So I've kept important things here, but if you want to really master and become better at work, you should actually join the ACE 104 or the regular Azure track also. So except this page where we have to enter a subscription resource group name, region, storage account, key vault, application insights, and container registry. Other things, container registry is optional here. So other things like inbound access, outbound access, encryption, identity tags, you have seen for the other similar services also, right? Okay, our text analytics. Okay, AI Foundry, our language service. Okay, our language service is created. Its kind is text analysis. So this name sure might change here and there, but the kind remains same, because otherwise it will break the APIs. So we were creating health insights here, right? So we can now select our language service. So if you are experimenting or preparing labs or doing labs, I would suggest first do the language service one and then come here and then do the health insights one, where we'll have to enter subscription resource group, region, name, pricing tier. There is free and standard. Always go for free when it is available. And then the language resource, whatever you have already created, you can use it. Network, identity, tags are all similar. And then you can create. We will explore all of these services one by one later, but I just wanted to show you what all things are available in the portal today. So embed text reading and comprehension capabilities into applications, help users of any age and reading ability with the features like reading aloud, translating languages, and focusing attention through highlighting and other design elements. Azure is the only major cloud provider offering this type of reading technology. No machine learning expertise is required. So while reading this itself, you will get a lot of startup ideas that you can implement, right? Commercial S3 600 sessions per minute, educational or non-profit. So here, if you're experimenting, you can select as such, and then other options, network identity tag are all same. Language service we created, speech service. So region, name, pricing tier, other options are all same. Translator service, region, name. Okay, pricing tier. You have various pricing tiers here, like standard S1, pay as you go, or custom C2, custom C3, custom C4, document D3. All of these have some commitment. With the pay as you go, you don't have any commitment. So you can go. And rest of the options, network, identity tags, all are same. Okay, let us click on create. Machine learning. Okay, good. Everything is automatically populated. Containerization is optional, but so if you are part of the FL12 program, you can create a lab with that option also. Other options, inbound access, outbound access. Let us keep with the keep with broader access, but in production you will always go with least privilege policy. And let us click on create. So language service was done. Okay, get started with language service. So you can play around. So buddy search is finally done. Okay, yeah. So this took a lot of time. Great. So you can connect your data, you can explore your data, you can monitor and scale. So connect your data, start here to import your data, explore your data, connect to the apps, optimize search results, monitor and scale tools that allow you to monitor your system and scale for optimal performance. Search management, indexes, data sources, aliases, skill sets, debug sessions, premium features. Semantic Wrangler uses deep neural networks to provide relevant results and answers based on semantics, not just lexical analysis. Additional charges may be applicable. Agentic retrieval generates high quality grounding data for your agents and RAG applications. We talked about RAG, right? Additional charges may be applicable. So as you can see, when you learn AI on Azure or AWS or any cloud, there are a lot of other terms you'll have to learn. So that is what we will be also doing. Before we go to any service, we will also learn what is actually required as a prerequisite. All of these terms, right? Just we discuss RAG, but there are many other terms here. Okay. Okay. Knowledge center. You can again connect your data. You can use your use AI to extract and enrich, explore your data, monitoring and administration. You can do a lot of things. Okay, additional resources. There are a lot of videos to help you learn keys and scaling, search, traffic, analytics, identity networking properties and logs are same. Monitoring are same like others. So most of these terms, these are not specific to Azure search, right? So you will have to learn those concepts and come here for better productive use. Otherwise, you can just do these things, but if you understand, then only you can become a good AI engineer. So our machine learning resource is also done. The workspace is done, and you can go launch the studio. Okay, test translation service is done. AI Foundry page, translator, standard options you have. Okay, you have options to try. Hello, my name is Artin. See, you get a response as a JSON so that your code can make sense of the output from other parameters and then do the needful. Okay, if you want sample code, you can get it and then you can build applications based on this. You have a sample code in C Sharp, Go, Java, Node.js, Python, most common languages, right? Speech service, not create, right? So why to leave that alone? We'll create that also. HK speech service pricing tier. Next, network identity tags all same. Review plus create and click on create. Okay, machine learning studio. ml.azure.com is the machine learning studio. We can see a lot of options here. You can play around. You have model catalog, notebooks, automated ML designer, prompt flow. So there are a lot of things to learn. And it is not just like any other Azure services where you just come and learn about that service. You have to understand all of these things here. Like what is this generative? What is this model? So that is where we will be focusing. First, concepts. Then we will see how things happen from a Azure AI perspective. AI Foundry. Okay, congratulations, your keys are ready. Make an API call. Enjoy coding. Okay. Okay. So health insights, machine learning. We created immersive reader. We didn't create, but we saw the option language service, speech service, translator, and there are also many classic services which are not recommended to be used now. We discussed a lot. So we first focused on the core topics like Azure AI Foundry, deploying models, then Azure OpenAI, converting from Azure OpenAI to AI Foundry, and explore most of these services, at least the creation part and then experimentation part. Okay, any doubts, queries? We are in the speech service, and you can go to Speech Studio. Okay, so this is again the AI Studio. So you can, so even if it says go to Speech Studio, now Speech Studio is part of AI Studio. It just take you to a speech playground. You can play around, video translation, real time transcription, fast transcription, batch transcription, speech translation, custom speech, pronunciation assessment, voice gallery, professional voice, personal voice, custom avatar, text to speech avatar, audio content creation. So you have a lot of options, right? Okay, so there are different playgrounds here, right? Chat playground, video playground, images playground, audio playground, speech playground, language playground. So now when you go to speech studio, it actually comes to speech playground, translator playground. So here also we can do whatever we did from there, right? There are a lot of playgrounds here. Assistance playground, experiment with text generation using AI model. So you have lot of options to play around. So any questions? I have lot of free credits that will be expiring, so I just thought I'll experiment with something. And so last weekend I had invited a lot of people from our community to experiment whatever they want on AI. So it was a 4 day. Even initially it was planned for 2 days. It went to 4 days. 4 days experiment anything with AI on Azure cloud, and many people did great experiments. It was really fun to watch them watch them asking doubts in the Keva group, and people joining the 24/7 Zoom and helping others. It was a great experience even for me. Translator, we created speech service, we created and so language service. We saw language studio, we didn't see. So language.cognitive.azure.com. So here and there you will still see the cognitive term. Get started with Azure Cognitive Services for language. Language Studio, you can experiment like a post call transcription and analytics, summarize information, document translation, lot of things. Immersive Reader, you haven't created. Okay. Okay. So get the API key, make a web call. So most of the things in AI happens over API calls from some language. So that is why some programming language is needed, and that is why whenever I teach Azure AI as a course, I always include Python as part of the course. Okay, document intelligence resource we saw, document intelligence studio we saw, content safety we saw. Okay, nothing much to do here. It's all through APIs. Custom vision, you have a training, you have a prediction. Okay, nothing much to do here. It's also through APIs. Computer vision, you can go to computer vision studio and then experiment bot services. Okay, build enterprise grade conversational AI. Okay, you can test in web chat, you can connect to channels. Lot of things you can experiment with AI search, sure, OpenAI, AI hubs. Classic, I'm not going to touch for now because they are classic and mostly deprecated ones. But otherwise, we have went through most of the things, right? We had created a hub, right? So now we can create a project also. and you have to select the hub we created. Other things are mostly straightforward, and finally you can click on create. Immersive Reader. Again API based. There is most of these things are same, right? Key, sign-in point, pricing tier, networking identity, cost analysis. You can create and explore. New language service or existing language service. We already have a language service created, right? So you can select it. See, if you see, like if you learn one service or few service, then creation part for all other services are almost the same. Your assignment will be so list down whatever services we experimented, and then how can we work with it. Is there any studio available? If studio is available, where that studio takes you. For example, computer vision, you have a studio which is the vision studio, and it will take you to the vision studio portal, right? So if you go to AI Foundry and go to computer vision, so your assignment should say, okay, in computer vision, you can create a table also. Computer vision, you have Vision Studio. The URL is portal.vision.cognitiveservices.azure.com. You can mention all of those things. Health insights. Okay, it is done. So if you don't see any a portal option, you can just say, okay, you have only API option available. I believe we have gone through all of these, but we haven't gone through all of these, like VM Data Cloud Vault, Healthcare Agent Service. Okay, that is also from Microsoft. Chatbot with OpenAI, ChatGPT, in Azure. VM Data Cloud, GPT Pro, AI-powered chatbot for seamless integration and automation. Jupyter Hub, MoveWorks, Presite, New Pulse, News Pulse, Wire Dashboard for AI-powered avatars, Geekbot stand-ups, Samo.ai, VM Data Cloud for Entra ID, SmartSpace.ai, domain spoofing, security, Copilot agent, PMS, NLSQL, Enterprise Bot, Omni, Channel AI, and DX1, Digital Assistant, platform DXP for educational institutes. A lot of things you can click on, load more, and then you will see more and more and more options here. It's kind of a marketplace. Okay, but you can experiment with SureBot. Nothing else is going to come for your certification at least. Okay, so I hope I have covered most of the things with respect to Azure AI. At least now you should have an overview or idea about what Azure AI is all about. So if you want to learn early about AI, you can just go through this blog and then read through. Or if you want me to guide you, you can just go to codingarchitect.cs/contact and contact me. You will have my contact number, WhatsApp number, LinkedIn. All information is here. I rather than always giving the number, I ask people to go this because number I can change in the future. For now, it's 403 but it could change in future. So when it changes, I will update here. So always come here, and then if you want to contact me or WhatsApp, go to this URL, just click on this, and it will open up WhatsApp for you. Okay, or click here. It will also open WhatsApp from your mobile, and you just have to type. Okay, so let me stop sharing. Any doubts or queries that you want to ask me before we wind up? I'm available most of the days to answer queries, and then I don't have to answer because the community is so helpful. We have a lot of working professionals, AI experts, cloud experts within our knowledge exchange study group. So it's rare that I have to actually answer. So somebody will just join the Zoom meeting and then help each other. So I've provided that platform with 24/7 Zoom for you to discuss. And most of the people are learning together. And in case if nobody is answering, then I will also help. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Please comment your feedback or comment answers to the questions I asked you. Ask comments below this video wherever you watch it. It could be in buddytutor.com or Cse Cafe website, or it could be in one of the YouTube channels. Wherever you watch it, just comment your feedback and thoughts, and most importantly, what do you want to learn next? What should I focus next? Okay, based on your feedback, I will prioritize topics and then I will discuss about them. I hope you have a very decent idea about Azure AI services or the Azure AI Foundry and the various studios available. So now we will take a step back and then we will learn each of these services one by one after learning the required theory. For example, before learning more on generative AI, we will learn the generative AI concepts such as temperature, top, those things we saw vaguely in the playground, right? And before agentic AI, we will learn about agentic AI, and same for other services. And feel free to connect with me anytime you want. It's just that I get a lot of messages, so I will try to get back to you at the earliest. So try to text me or try to WhatsApp me first, or DM me in LinkedIn or Facebook, and then schedule a time and then call. Otherwise, I might be in a session like this, which goes on and on for a long time. And then even now, I'm getting messages, texts, and then some calls. I'll not be able to take the calls. Okay, so that's it. Bye bye for now, and see you all soon. And it was a very long session, but going forward, I plan to restrict these sessions to 30 minutes to 45 minutes max. But since this was the first day, or the first day after quite a long time, or the first day for Azure AI, I thought I will at least touch all of the services that are available, so that you will have some idea about these terms, some idea about these names, so that when we learn them later, it will be familiar for you. Okay, so bye bye for now, and see you all in next class.